Another day, another time that we meet here on Morning Prime. Today it is Friday, and every Friday we have Wongozi today. Hello, good morning, wakey wakey. I trust you slept easy, woken up well, and it's another day that the good Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. There's a lot that we'll be talking about today on Wongozi today, and we'll be training our focus on media and elections. Now, we know that media plays a major role in keeping the citizenry abreast of current events and raising awareness of various issues in any society. It also has an extremely significant impact on the public's views and way of thinking. It is the primary means through which public opinions is shaped and at times manipulated. If this is the media's role, then in normal course of events, it's become even more vital in exceptional periods, one of which is electoral junctures, when the media becomes a primary player. Elections constitute a basic challenge to the media, putting its impartiality and objectivity to the test. Now, the task of the media, especially national media outlets, is not and should not be to function as a mouthpiece for any government body or particular candidate. Its basic role is to enlighten and educate the public and act as a neutral, objective platform for the free debate of all points of view. The media plays an indispensable role in the proper functioning of a democracy. Discussion of the media's functions within electoral context often focuses on their watchdog role. By an unfettered scrutiny and discussions of the successes and failures of candidates, governments, and electoral management bodies, the media can inform the public of how effectively they have performed and help to hold them to account. That will be the basis of our discussion this morning. And also, my panelist is up and early today. We are here, all of us, except for one, that she's on her way. And I just want also to just get introductory remarks and just say hello to them as well. We have David Omoyo, who is the CEO of Media Council of Kenya. Also, we have with us Ocheng Rapuro. He is the editor-in-chief, Standard Group. Also, we have with us Alex Chamwada, who is a media consultant. And we're eagerly waiting for Professor Nancy Buka from Aga Khan University to join us for this conversation. Also, you can chime in. Head over to our Twitter handle at KTN News KE is the handle, and you can use and peg your thoughts on the hashtag Morning Prime. Right, let me just get introductory remarks and get to hear how they struggle. Some of them, I know some of them here are not morning persons. They say morning is not my thing. In the evening you can call me. But let me just hear from them this morning. I'll begin with the first who was out of the gate. Ocheng Rapuro, good morning, good to see you.
Good morning, Dibal.
Right, and yes, today did you struggle? Or I normally...
Yeah, I'm very well.
You're very well.
It's a good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, and thank you for joining us on Morning Prime today. Also, we have Alex Chamwada with us. He's a media consultant. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Dibal, and good morning to all viewers from wherever part of the country you are watching us. Dibal, for me, I operate on different time zones. You know, I would be speaking to people in the US, Australia, and Kenya, so waking up early is not a big problem. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so I know maybe a jet lagger is not also operating on you this morning. I can see you're alive and well. Well, thank you. Also, we have David Moore, who is the CEO of Media Council of Kenya. Good morning, sir. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Fantastic. We're eagerly waiting, as I said, Professor Nancy Buka to join us for this conversation. Good. Let's just get down to business right now and see what is fresh off the press this morning, what is headlining our front pages today. We begin with a bold paper, and this is what you're waking up to today. Hot contest for running mates gathers steam is what is headlining the front page of the bold paper, The Standard today. And it says that Raila, Ruto and Kalonzo will pick their respective running mates from Mount Kenya is no secret. The question on everyone's lips is, of all the top contenders, who is best suited to energize their tickets? And you have this story well fleshed out for you on page 6 and 7 of the Standard this morning. And you can see also how they came out in force yesterday during the rally in Ukambani there, Wiper Kalonzo Musyoka with businessman Jimmy Wanjigi, KANU chairman Gideon Moi, and UDP's Cyrus Jirongo can be seen here addressing a gathering at Kabati Market in Kitui yesterday. Kalonzo asked his rivals in the presidential race to brace themselves for a bruising campaign. This story continues on page 10 of the Standard this morning. And we have a sidebar here, football, a #1 fan killed in land dispute. This was a foul play there. Isaac Juma lived a simple but colorful life. He kept football fans entertained thanks to his colorful displays. But yesterday he was hacked to death over a land dispute. And this story, you have it well fleshed out for you on page 22 and 38 of the Standard this morning. Looking also on the teaser up there, we have a revelation on Kirubi's 20 billion shillings worth of property and cars. And you can follow the story on page 4 of the Standard this morning. There's a contentious issue that is rising here over NHIF, and now the private hospitals are digging their heels in the sand, and they're saying that they will not be offering services to NHIF card holders. And this story is well fleshed out for you on page 12 of the Standard this morning. Also, we have the Pulse magazine that comes in handy for you every Friday inside the bold paper. You can grab a copy for that magazine as well. That is a standard for us. We want to see what is on the front page of the Daily Nation, and this is what you're waking up to on the front page of the Daily Nation. Uhuru throws race wide open. This is the Daily Nation's splash today, and we have also the flagger there reading provisions of law. Parties in a coalition can conduct nominations. Parties in a coalition can conduct nominations. That is what we have on the front page of the Daily Nation. Season of coalitions. UDA leader William Ruto, ODM chief Raila Odinga, and C. Musalia Mudavadi. We have also there Wiper Kalonzo Musyoka, that is Wiper's Kalonzo Musyoka, NAK Kenya's Martha Karua, KADU chairman Gideon Moi, and Ford K's Moses Wetangula, NAK leader Charity Ngilu. Right, so this is a season of coalition. Who will be partnering with who? Some, of course, they've shown their cards as well, way too early. But this is also a developing story as far as the party's bill is concerned, that the president has consented to it, has assented to it, I should say, and right now things are bound to change as far as the landscape is concerned. Also, the front page of the Daily Nation is Kiunjuri's dwindling fortunes, seeking MP's job. Barely 5 years ago, Mwangi Kiunjuri sat on the right-hand side of power, but things have changed, and the political career of the former agriculture minister seems to be on a downward trajectory. You can follow his story on page 7. Right, I didn't read for you the sub-headline that we have there on the front page of the Daily Nation regarding the headline. Political parties bill signed into law by President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday has opened a new battlefront that will see each of the current 3 major formations, Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Alliance, and Kenya Kwanza, jostling to form the most formidable coalition party to favor ODM leader Raila Odinga's Azimio. And that has thrown a lifeline to his opponents, who will use it to forge alliances. This story, you have it well fleshed out on page 4 of the Daily Nation today. NHIF private hospital, private hospitals issue threat to withhold services is a story that you want to follow also on the back page of the Daily Nation. Adeu Juma, Heaven gets new sports cheerleader. The attackers slashed him several times, inflicting deep injuries on his head, neck, and other parts of the body. That is a story of the demise of a football fan who was killed over land issue as well. That is tucked away on page 49 of the Standard this morning. Right, let's just move on and see what we have on the front pages of other dailies as well. We have the People Daily, and also we do have the Business Daily for you as well. And this is what we have on the front page of the Business Daily. We just buckle down to a bit of business just to show what is on the front page of a Business Daily. This is a splash today. Ex-Lancet CEO demands 3.5 billion shillings amid board row. That is what we have as a splash there. Ex-Lancet CEO demands 3.5 billion shillings amid board row. And it's a dispute where Dr. Ahmed Halebi seeks retirement pay in wake of shareholder fallout with his French and South African partners. It says, just to read a snippet of it, that former Lancet Kenya CEO Ahmed Halebi is seeking 3.5 billion shillings from the laboratory services from Pharmaceuticals in the wake of a shareholder fallout with his French and South African partners. Dr. Halebi, who helped found the firm in 2009, has sued the Kenyan firm and shareholders, French firm that is Zebra Healthcare and Lancet Service Company of South Africa, setting the stage for one of Kenya's largest executive payouts. The shareholder fallout followed his retirement in April last year of shares and his payouts as a founder of the Kenyan wing of the laboratory. You have the story continuing on page 4. Also, there is a standalone picture here, and this is a governor's election that was happening yesterday. We can see Governors James Nyoro of Kiambu, Martin Wambora, and Kiratu Murungi of Meru after the unveiling ceremony of the Council of Governors' new leaders at the Tamarind Hotel yesterday. County chiefs re-elected Mr. Wambora as the COG chair. You have that story. This is a standalone picture, but you can follow the story elsewhere, also in the dailies as well. Safaricom Airtel spared paying customers for network outages is another story that you want to follow also on the front page of the Business Daily. Telecoms operators have been spared from paying customers for voice service outages after expiry of proposed law that has sought to impose a penalty of up to 30 shillings per day for dropped calls. You can follow the story on page 4 of the Business Daily. Great. Let's just see also what we have on the ticker as well. ABL resumes dividend after profit doubles. That is another story you can follow on the front page of the Business Daily as well. Let's just move on and we see what we have also on the front page of the People Daily. And this is your splash on the front page of the People Daily. And it's all about the political scenario that we're in right now, that every day something is changing. Right now is the Political Parties Act that was assented to by the President yesterday. People Daily is coming up shortly, and this is what is on the front page of the People Daily. Right, People Daily, all set for battle of the coalitions. Paul Carton, Uhuru signs political parties bill into law, setting the stage for Ruto Raila to marshal the troops for political showdown ahead of August. That is a story that you want to follow inside the People Daily. And you can see the president who was assenting to the bill yesterday here. And we have enumerated here what the agreement and the funds and the register and the nomination and the candidates all about. The Act enables the formation of coalition parties whose agreement must be deposited with the Registrar of Political Parties 120 days to the general election. On the funds, the new law also indicates how the political parties' funds will be distributed. It says that 70% of the money will be shared by parties according to the number of their votes. Also on register, the law gives powers to the registrar to keep and maintain a register of members of political parties. Also nominations for anyone to participate in a party's nominations, they must be a member of that outfit. And candidates, a coalition party will be able to field candidates for various elective seats. That is what we have there on the front page of the Business Daily. Also, state gives 30-day way leave vacate order and two held over death of soccer fanatic. That is how the People Daily looks today. Private hospitals now shut out NHIF members. Right, so let's buckle down to our editorial cartoons and we see what they have drawn for us. We have the Standard, we also have the People Daily and the Star as well. I didn't have or get a gas from the Daily Nation, and this is what you're waking up to on the editorial pages of our dailies today, just tickling our funny bones. This is what Gado has drawn for us, and it's all about African leaders and the way they are belly aching over their colonialist. And we can see them having a conversation here. The Brits were better colonizers than the French, one of them says. Not at all. The French were certainly better than the Brits. And there is, of course, a slugfest there. 12 people fighting. And the Brits were better colonizers than the French. And you can see that after all, there is the tragedy of, instead of focusing on what is at hand, the drought situation in the country is a debate that are actually and the verbal ping pong that is going on over who was better as a colonizer. That is what Gado has drawn for us. Let's see what we have in the Star. This is what Ozone has drawn inside the Star as well on page 2 of the Star. Just looking at that is the political caricature, I should say, and we can see here a float, I should say, is the NC leader, Musalia Mudavadi, who is starting at the beehive there, and the bees are all over. That is the Star for you. Let's see what we do have also inside the People Daily, what Stano has drawn for us. And this is what we have inside the editorial page of the People Daily. Everyone is warming up. Everyone now is trying to get his best action as far as, political rallies are concerned. We can see various leaders there. We can see Azimio leader, Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Amolo Odinga. We can see also Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka. We can see Mwangi Njuri there. Also, we can see the chairman of the Kanu Party, Gideon Moi. And this other leader, I cannot really tell on decipher. I'll leave it for you to decipher that. And that is the current state of play of our politics in the country as well. So I'll leave it for you to decipher that. That is what we have inside the People Daily this morning, as far as Stano is concerned, drawing for us the editorial cartoons. Right, we want to just bring this to a close, but I'll be remiss if I also don't show you what we do have as the latest magazines as well. Looking at the front pages of The Economist, this being the latest copy, and also looking at the front page of the Newsweek as well. This is The Economist for you, the parable of Boris Johnson. The parable of Boris Johnson, big tech's superside ambitions, Russia's military options in Ukraine, what's up with America's workers, new evidence on vaccine mandates. That is what you can follow also inside the latest copy of The Economist. This was from January the 22nd up to today. So if you've not really grabbed your copy, make sure you do grab your copy as well. Let's see what we have on the front page of the Newsweek, and this is what you do have on the front page of the Newsweek. Quickly, as it's coming up, it's just focusing on the fight that we're having with COVID-19, just the progression from various variants of the virus since Alpha. We had also Beta, Gamma, Delta, and now we are battling with Omicron. What science says about the future of COVID-19, the forever virus, is what is on the front page of the Newsweek. And Christian prophets and Trump as well. It's another story that you can follow inside the Newsweek as well. Good, let's move on swiftly and finally see what we do have also on the front page of the Harvard Business Review, the latest edition. And of course, being our Uongozi Forum today, Uongozi Today, we also center largely on this. You can grab a copy of the Harvard Business Review, which is headlining leadership and team building. Build a leadership team for transformation is what is on the front page of the Harvard Business Review. Your organization's future depends on it, and this is stacked on page 60 of the Harvard Business Review. 35 adapting to digital, that is on page 35, adapting to digital disruption. 122, that is the page that you want to also find out sense making for sounds. And on page 39, how to sell your ideas up the chain of command. That is what is on the front page of the Harvard Business Review. We shall continue with our discussion. If you're joining us, just remember today is Friday. It is Uongozi Today, and we're centering our conversation on media and election. Even as you know, the days are ticking off the calendar quickly towards the general election. We need to see what is the proper role of media, especially in covering general election. And we had introduced our panelists, and we will go right into the stories of the day before we tackle, of course, this particular topic. But I just want to remind you that you can head over to a Twitter handle, which is at KE Kenya. That is KTN News KE. And also you can hit us on, or share your comments on the hashtag Morning Prime, on the hashtag Morning Prime. Right, I just want to prime you on the latest that we have as far as President Uhuru Kenyatta is concerned with that particular story of assenting the bill yesterday. If I may just have it on rolling so that we can move on swiftly. And we know that also NHIF has become a ticklish issue, but President Uhuru Kenyatta has finally assented into law the controversial Political Parties Amendment Bill 2021, thus effecting it. The bill that saw legislators divided into those backing handshake and those opposing it now introduces the concept of coalition political parties, outlining functions of political parties, as well as changing the criteria of accessing the political parties fund. But as our senior political affairs reporter, Chris Thyro, reports, the opponents of the act have already threatened to challenge it in a court of law on grounds that there was no proper public participation.
After heated debate characterized by miscuffs in the National Assembly as well as divisions in the Senate, President Uhuru Kenyatta swung into action, assenting into law the Political Parties Amendment Bill 2021, barely 24 hours after the Senate approved it without amendments. Speakers from both houses were present at State House Nairobi to witness the signing of the bill into law. The bill will mainly come into play ahead of the August 9 general election. The law now gives a coalition political party some leeway in terms of registration process. It provides that the Registrar of Political Parties shall issue the coalition political party with a certificate of full registration upon receiving an agreement from the political parties 3 months to an election. This means that if the Azimio La Umoja would like to deposit their agreement with the registrar, then they have until April this year to actualize their plan. The act also gives leeway to the proponents of Azimio La Umoja to field candidates in all elective positions, including that of the president.
Unlike the past, it's very difficult now to make promises pre-election. So any person who wants to make a promise, like the promises that have been made in the previous coalitions, the trust deficit is too high.
The politics aside, everybody needs a proper law on coalition making, because at the end of the day, no party can outrightly win election in Kenya without a coalition. I think that ended with the Kanu era.
The act also ensures that the distribution of political parties' fund is divided equitably among political parties that managed to get elected representatives. Initially, a political party was eligible to receive zero funding if it does not secure at least 5% of the total number of votes in the preceding general election. The only two parties that met the threshold were Jubilee and ODM. The new law also allows the establishment of the political parties management information system, which shall be used by the registrar for processing political parties records. The act allows the establishment of structures that political parties will use during their nominations. However, the opponents of the act have still vowed to move to court and challenge it.
The judiciary does not live actually in a utopian world. They live in this country. So there's also the national interest, and I think part of the judicial mechanism is what constitutes, what will add to the well-being of the people of Kenya. This bill adds to the well-being of the people of Kenya by injecting sanity, by injecting trust.
Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Legislators affiliated to Azimio la Umoja movement use their numbers in parliament to pass their amendments and reject those proposed by legislators affiliated to Deputy President William Ruto. The Senate passed the bill without any amendments. Political parties are now free to strategize politically using the new act in readiness for August 9th polls. Chris Dairo, KTN News.
And nearly a month after passage of the NHIF bill, tough times lie ahead for private health providers following a contractual standoff between the national insurer and private hospitals. The private hospitals and NHIF were holed up in negotiations for the better part of Thursday following private hospitals' protests over new reimbursement structures by NHIF, which they argue offers rights not feasible for them. As a result, they say they will not offer services to NHIF members starting February the 1st.
The row pitting the government and private hospitals over National Hospital Insurance Fund compensation rates could limit healthcare access to thousands of people seeking health services from the private facilities, a number the Ministry of Health says is a minority of Kenyans.
From my approach, patients will gain. Why? What we are trying to say is 90% of the people of Kenya get services from the public health sector. NHIF has changed. There are only two contracts. You are either on a comprehensive or not in a comprehensive program. So these facilities that we are talking about that are not comprehensive, but because if you are not on comprehensive, you can be able to offer services and charge patients over and above what, and the people who go there no, and they have the financial wherewithal to pay. When you get comprehensive and you are a small private facility deep in a county, if you choose comprehensive, then the margins that NHIF, because these figures have been arrived at a thorough scientific process.
According to private hospitals, the amount NHIF is willing to reimburse them for services rendered to its members is not feasible.
Fee structure which has been in place for the last 3 years, slightly over 3 years, and if you do a line-by-line comparison of that previous structure and the current one, the rates have gone down, and especially for the surgical packages as much as 50%. So that cannot be justified on the basis that you, especially 3 years later, you can't have the charges having gone down.
Dr. Olwen says doctors will be forced to turn patients away come 1st of February if the issue is not resolved. For patients like Mwanahawa Kasandi, clearly this is a moment of loss. Mwanahawa has been on dialysis since 2019.
Serikali cannot accommodate all of us. They need to do their statistics first. We are many kidney patients are many. So if they say they do that, it will be, they'll be sending us to our early graves.
Apart from public facilities, NHIF contracts both private and faith-based facilities to provide services to its members. Dialysis reimbursement has been 19,000 shillings per week for 2 sessions, but under the new contract, this same amount should cover 3 sessions extended to 3 per week.
Even if, for example, the public sector was able to provide the service, they don't have the capacity to overnight be able to accommodate all the patients that they were taking care of in terms of dialysis before, plus the new crop who are going to come in from the private and faith-based hospitals, for example. So this is precipitating a crisis which I deem as not necessary. This is something that could have been sorted out with sufficient negotiation and administrative action.
If this happens from 1st of February as per the private hospital stake, then most patients will be forced to pay out of pocket for health services in private facilities or contend with public facilities due to this disruption. The Ministry of Health assures Kenyans that the number of public health facilities outnumbers private facilities, and it anticipates no crisis in terms of access to health services.
We are talking about 1,500 private facilities in the NHIF, vis-a-vis over 10,000 public facilities. So what we are doing and what NHIF is trying to do is to shift the balance.
As to whether private health facilities will make good their threat from next week, it is a matter of wait and see. Gloria Milemo, KTN News.
Right, thank you, Gloria. Now we want to buckle down to a discussion. Our panelists are already here.